Now, the number 26 carries a profound meaning, and there are multiple aspects to this number. In the Hebrew, the sacred name of God, which is Yahweh, it equals the gematria value of 26. And so when you calculate it, Yod equals 10, Hey equals 5, Vav equals 6, and Hey again equals 5. And so when you add them together, you get the number 26. And so that means that this coming year is literally marked by his name. It bears his covenant, and it also carries his authority. But the number 26 also has another layer to it. In the Hebrew, the word for love is ahave, and its gematria value equals the number 13. And so the number 26 is the number 13 twice, 13 times 2, or 13 plus 13. And so that means that the very name of God is also directly tied to love, which is why Scripture also tells us that God is love. Love is the very essence of who he is in his covenant. Now, you compare that with its counterfeit, mystery, Babylon, also tied to that number, the number 13. But instead of God's love, it represents lust, idolatry, rebellion, and lawlessness, a false love, a counterfeit love that leads the nations astray and away from God. Now, the number 26 has also been used by the enemy to frequently mock God, to mock his image, and to mock his covenant, and it has been used to attack the biblical definition of marriage. When you look at the date aspect, June 26, and on this exact date, 3 separate Supreme Court rulings were issued. One directly attacked the name of God through Lawrence versus Texas on June 26, 2003, which struck down sodomy laws. Another struck at the very image of God, United States versus Windsor on June 26, 2013, struck down the Marriage Defense Act. And then another redefined the biblical meaning of love and marriage itself. Obergefell versus Hodges, June 26, 2015, fully legalizing gay marriage. And even Hollywood has done this. You look at what's coming up here within the next 9 months. The new Supergirl movie is slated to be released on June 26. That is 6/26/26, a cultural counterfeit set directly against the name and covenant of God. And so this number points us to the heart of the conflict, God's covenant love versus mystery Babylon and Babylon's rebellion. Now, the Hebrew year is going to be 5786. And when you rearrange that in its numerical chronological order, it reads 5, 6, 7, and 8. That is a prophetic divine order. It shows us that events are lining up step in step, and it also symbolizes a countdown beginning to unfold. The number 5 in the Hebrew is the letter Hey, and it means to behold. It is the picture of Revelation. God saying, stop, look, pay attention to what I am doing. The number 6 in the Hebrew is the letter Vav, and it means to hook. It joins things together. It is the pulling of nations into alignment. This is also the hook in the jaw concerning the Gog and Magog pattern. And then, of course, the number 6 also representing man, in which the day man was created. Now, the number 7 in the Hebrew is the letter Zayin, and it literally means weapon or sword. And so in the modern Hebrew, Lazayin means to arm. It is the picture of war, conflict being prepared, nations arming themselves for battle. And then the number 8 is the Hebrew letter of Chet, which means a wall. It is a fence to separate and to divide, and it also represents new beginnings. And so when you put all of this together, you get a very specific message. Behold, the nations are being hooked together. They are being armed for war, and a great division is coming, one that will lead into a new beginning. And so the sequence is absolutely clear. 5, 6, 7, 8 is revealing a prophetic divine order. And so when you put all of this together, the message becomes absolutely clear. The gematria value of the number 26 equals the very name of God. Within his name is love, covenant, and his faithfulness, his promises. But within the same number is also revealed the counterfeit, the idolatry, the lust of mystery Babylon, the prostitute, and the move of lawlessness, the spirit of the Antichrist. And then also the attack against God's image and the relentless war against the church. And then you add in the sequence of events 5, 6, 7, and 8. Behold, the nations are hooked, armed for war, divided, and a new order is coming. This year is marked as a specific appointed time by God, a year for division, a year for the sifting of the wheat and the tares, a year on behalf of his covenant promises, on behalf of his word, and it has to do with both the church and also Israel. And so it is ushering in either a new beginning or the end, depending on your perspective and what you hold. But one thing is absolutely certain, clear as daylight, that these things have already started to begin to unfold, and they are happening now on a scale that the world has never witnessed before.